Many retirees feel like they only have two choices with their retirement money. Either keep it invested in the market and hope the next downturn doesn't happen at the wrong time, or move everything into conservative investments and accept less growth potential. But for some people, there may be a middle ground, a strategy that's designed to provide some growth potential when markets perform well, while also helping protect principal from market losses. That's one reason fixed indexed annuities have become such a widely discussed retirement planning tool. But they're also one of the most misunderstood. Some advisors recommend them often, while others criticize them. And many retirees are left wondering whether a fixed indexed annuity is actually useful or just another financial product being sold to them. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through how fixed indexed annuities work, the potential advantages, the drawbacks, and who they may or may not be appropriate for. By the end, you should have a clearer understanding of whether this type of strategy deserves a closer look in your retirement plan. And if you'd like help reviewing your own retirement income strategy, there's a link in the description where you can schedule a free call. So let's start with the basics. What is a fixed indexed annuity? A fixed indexed annuity, often called an FIA, is a contract between you and an insurance company. You deposit money into the annuity, and in return, the insurance company provides certain guarantees and benefits outlined in the contract. What makes a fixed indexed annuity unique is that your interest potential is linked to the performance of a market index, such as the S&P 500. But this is where many people get confused. Your money is not directly invested in the stock market. You don't own shares of the companies inside the index. Instead, the insurance company uses a formula to determine how much interest gets credited to your account based on how the index performs. So, you may have the opportunity to benefit from some market upside, but your contract value is generally protected from direct market losses. And for many retirees and pre-retirees, that's what gets their attention. Imagine you're 5 years away from retirement. You spent decades building your nest egg. The last thing you want is a major downturn cutting into your portfolio right before you need to start taking income. That's often when people begin looking at fixed indexed annuities. They're not looking for the most aggressive growth strategy. They're looking for a way to protect part of what they've built while still having some opportunity for growth. Now, let's talk about one of the main reasons people consider them: principal protection. With a fixed indexed annuity, if the market index has a negative year, your credited interest may be zero for that period, but your account value does not decline because of market losses, assuming you follow the terms of the contract. So, if the market drops 20%, 30%, or 40%, your principal remains protected from that market loss. For someone approaching retirement, that can provide a lot of peace of mind. But there's a trade-off. You don't receive all of the market's upside either. Insurance companies use things like participation rates, caps, and spreads to determine how much of the index's gain gets credited to your account. For example, if the market index gains 15%, you may only receive a portion of that gain depending on the contract. So this is the trade-off. You're giving up unlimited market upside potential in exchange for downside protection and more predictability. That doesn't make it good or bad. It simply means you need to understand what role it's supposed to play in your plan. Here's another reason retirees consider these products: guaranteed income options. Many fixed indexed annuities offer optional income riders that can provide guaranteed lifetime income. That means you may be able to create an income stream you can't outlive, regardless of what happens in the market. This can be useful because retirement changes the question. During your working years, the focus is usually accumulation. How much can I save? How much can I grow? How much can I build? But once retirement gets close, the question becomes, how do I turn what I've saved into income I can actually live on? That's where new risks show up. A major downturn early in retirement, inflation, living longer than expected, a spouse needing income years after the first spouse passes away. These are the kinds of risks an income plan needs to account for. For some retirees, having a portion of their income contractually guaranteed can make the rest of the plan feel more manageable. But again, this doesn't mean every dollar should go into an annuity. It means an annuity may play one role inside a broader retirement income strategy. And if you're trying to figure out whether that role makes sense for you, you can click the link in the description to schedule a free call. Now, let's talk about the trade-offs you need to understand. It's important you understand that there are potential drawbacks with an FIA. The first is liquidity. Most fixed indexed annuities have surrender periods. Depending on the contract, that could be 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, or sometimes longer. If you withdraw more than that allowed amount during that period, you could face surrender charges. So, this generally isn't money you want to treat like a checking account or emergency fund. It's usually better viewed as a long-term retirement planning tool. The second trade-off is complexity. Annuity contracts can include different crediting methods, caps, participation rates, spreads, riders, fees, bonuses, and contract rules. That's why you need to know exactly what you're buying before you move money into one. The third trade-off is expectations. One of the biggest mistakes people make is expecting stock market returns without stock market risk. That's not how fixed indexed annuities work. They're designed to provide a mix of growth potential, protection, and in some cases, income benefits. They're generally not designed to outperform an aggressive stock portfolio over long periods of time. So, if someone tells you a fixed indexed annuity gives you all the upside with none of the downside, ask more questions. Because the details of the contract are what determine how the product actually works. Now, who may want to consider a fixed indexed annuity? In my experience, fixed indexed annuities tend to be most attractive to people who are within 5 to 10 years of retirement or already retired. They've usually done a decent job saving. They may still want some growth potential, but they're also starting to think more seriously about protecting what they've built. They don't want a major market downturn to force them into bad decisions. They don't want to spend retirement constantly worrying about volatility. And in some cases, they want a dependable income stream that can last for life. For that type of person, an FIA may potentially play a role inside the overall retirement strategy. But notice the key phrase there, inside the strategy, not as the entire strategy. Many retirement plans use several tools working together. Some assets may stay invested for long-term growth. Some may be positioned for income. Some may be kept liquid. And some may be used for protected growth or guaranteed income. The goal isn't to find one product that solves everything. The goal is to build a plan that addresses income, growth, liquidity, protection, taxes, and longevity in a coordinated way. Who should be careful? A fixed index annuity may not be appropriate for someone who needs full access to their money at any time, or for someone who wants maximum long-term growth, or if they don't fully understand the contract terms. And it may not be appropriate if the product is being sold before the plan has been built. That's where people can get into trouble. They start with the product first, and then they try to make the plan fit around it. I believe it should be the other way around. Plan first, product second, always. Are fixed indexed annuities good or bad? This is probably the wrong question to ask. A fixed indexed annuity is simply a tool. For the right person, it can provide growth potential, principal protection, and income benefits that may help create more confidence in retirement. For the wrong person, it may limit flexibility or reduce growth opportunity unnecessarily. So the better question is, does this tool fit your retirement objectives? Because retirement planning isn't just about chasing the highest return. It's about creating income you can rely on, protecting what you've spent decades building, and making sure your money is positioned to support your lifestyle for the rest of your life. So, if you're approaching retirement and you'd like help determining whether a fixed indexed annuity makes sense for your situation, click the link in the description where you can schedule a free call. We'll discuss your goals, your concerns, your income needs, and help you understand what options may be available for you. That way, you're not making a decision based on a product pitch. You are making it based on your income plan, your risk tolerance, and the kind of retirement you are trying to build. Because a fixed indexed annuity isn't right for everyone, but for the right person in the right situation, it may be one tool that helps bring more stability and confidence to retirement. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.